Thanks for tuning into BQ Prime. I am joined by Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, who is the chairman of Hiranandani Group. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out the time to talk to us. We are seeing quite a boom in the real estate market, but demand is mostly coming from the luxury sector. What about you, given that the launches that you're having and the demand that you're seeing, is it the same?
Yes, we do see that the mid segment and the luxury segment has grown much faster than I expected. And the affordable sector, unfortunately, has come down. So, yes, what you're saying is correct. At this point of time, that is the story. And it's not a good story because the PMAY scheme first phase is over. So the cross subsidy also has gone. We're waiting for the PMAY 2, which is expected to be launched. And we hope that gets launched. So at least a part of this problem will get sorted out and we will get back into the affordable segment growth will take place again in the country.
So as you mentioned, the PMAY 2 is in the talks. And how do you see that policy kind of reviving the affordable segment?
Of course, it made a lot of difference. The first segment did almost 1.1 crore houses. 80,000 crores was spent by the central government as subsidy for that segment. We're expecting 60,000 crores in this phase 2 segment, which is there. Of course, there were certain things where people in the Mumbai region couldn't benefit. For example, the price point of 45 lakhs of rupees was a problem. And that has a constraint that they will have to remove because the ready reckoner rate being what it is. It's not possible, it's not permitted by law, by Income Tax Act to sell it at lower prices. So all that and more needs to be taken into consideration when they launch PMAY 2.
Sir, the RBI released guidelines 6-7 months ago, excluding the stamp duty and registration fees when banks have to give out the loans to stabilize property market. What kind of impact have you seen there, and why do you think there was a need for the same?
I think you need to encourage the real estate market, not to stabilize it, because we have a long way to go. People, roti, kapda, makan, we have not been able to give makan to everybody. So I think we need to revise these thoughts and be able to give more loans. Remember, real estate retail loans is the lowest NPA in the world, less than 2%. So there's no reason why RBI should be worried about giving loans to the real estate retail segment. So I think they need to relook at that and be able to include stamp duty and other things. And even furnishing of apartments should be included in these home loans that are taking place. Let people, people in the lower segment of the economy also be able to get it. The rich anyway will buy whatever they want. But this is for the poorer segment. So we need to include it.
Sir, budget is around the corner. So as the chairman of Naredco, any kind of recommendations that you've given to the Finmin or something on that front?
Lots of suggestions we have given. We've talked about what needs to be done in giving the benefit in terms of like ATIB, tax-free nature for the small segment. Rental housing is what we are talking about. Input tax credit for the purposes of commercial buildings. A lot more that we think needs to be done by the finance minister in order to... Remember one thing, that today, real estate is 7% of GDP in a $3 trillion economy. As per Niti Aayog, in a $5 trillion economy, real estate is going to be 20%. So really it's growth. And the multiplier effect of that is 269 industries. So you need to actually give a further boost to real estate. But forget that. Unemployment in India will get eliminated if real estate is given a further boost, because it is the most labor-oriented thing in the world. After agriculture, real estate and infrastructure development is the most employment generating segment. And we need to do skills to be developed also along with that, which is not happening at the pace that it should. But I think if these two things are done, it will be fantastic.
So one last question that's been on my mind. Actually, you are a well-established group, but you've not actually come up with IPO before. What has been the reason for the same? And also, do you plan to or intend to in the coming years?
Well, I had no plans, but last week I had a chat with Ramdev Agarwal, and he was trying to persuade me that we should go for an IPO. I haven't thought about it yet, but when I meet him, maybe he'll persuade me.
Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us.
Thank you.